Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Tuesday, December the 28th, 2021. Yours truly here, Chris Phillips, the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show, taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, of course, folks, Tuesday of game week as we sit now just under 48 hours away from kickoff as the Gamecocks take on the North Carolina Tar Heels in the 2021 Dukes Mayo Bowl. But again, I want to continue to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. Also, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure that your questions are answered. Again, folks, appreciate you all tuning in. We got a lot to get into. Great podcast drop this morning as well with former Gamecocks football player Alex McGrath. Always a fantastic conversation. Almond Greaves says, fix the audio. Is there anything wrong with the audio? Because I think it's good on my end. Either way, again, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Before we get into everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies, but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line, not just a number. You're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys are going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be. The last thing you should be dealing with and worrying about is dealing with the insurance company themselves and doing all the paperwork. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, guys, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today. In Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, we're rocking and rolling. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes the Muschamp hackers do hit the microphone for some reason, and I have no clue because I can hear it in my headphones as well, but we should be good. Either way, again, really excited to chat with you all here on this Tuesday, December the 28th, 2021. We're taking your questions, your comments, and your calls at 843-790-3377. And by the way, great day to rock some new merch, by the way. You see we got the QB1 shirt on. We got the Beamer Rattler hat on. Great day to rock the new merch, available now on the store, tsus.store. Also, for those interested in buying merch, if you have not pulled the trigger yet, be sure to stay tuned. Probably on New Year's Eve, I'll probably run one final sale of 2021 on New Year's Eve, probably like 15 or 20% off or something like that. And if the Gamecocks win, you get 20% off. So just something else to add on to it. If the Gamecocks win, you win, right? Either way, again, want to hear from you. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Yeah, a busy day for bowl games today, by the way. Very good point. The Birmingham Bowl getting underway with Houston and Auburn. Very busy day for bowl games for sure. Was going to look at that game or try to get that game on the TV, and I did not do so before we started. So you guys keep me updated with how that game's going. But either way, again, a great day to have a day indeed. Brian Rhodes, how does our incoming offensive line look? We got a couple of nice pieces, Brubaker, Kaysen Henry, a couple of nice pieces in the recruiting class. But I'll tell you what, man, I really do believe you're going to have to hit the transfer portal. And I think a lot of your O-line next year is going to be the guys you have now. I mean, I know that's not going to make anybody feel warm and fuzzy inside, but you're going to be depending on the Eric Douglases of the world. You're going to be depending on Dylan Wanham. Like, there's guys on this line, they're just going to have to play better. I mean, bottom line, they're going to have to play better. There's going to be guys on this team you're going to depend on again next year. And I still feel like this line is better than what it showed this season. It just didn't make any sense. There's actually, I think, good players. Like, I think Dylan Wanham's a good player who was injured for most of the year. I think Eric Douglas, obviously, is a very, very good player. So I don't know. Let's see. Brian Lattimore, I got to get my laptop up so I can watch Chris and watch Auburn lose their bowl game. Yeah, indeed. Brian Dean, what's going on? John Kruger, appreciate you tuning in. Dill, what's going on? Hunter Herlong. Let's see. No, Hunter Herlong, the coaches will speak tomorrow. Coaches will speak tomorrow in their final, like, bowl, media, whatever availability. So that will happen tomorrow. So nothing happening today necessarily. Savannah Webster, have you addressed the rumors about Thursday been in and out? What rumors, Savannah? I really haven't seen rumors. I mean, I've seen what's happening across the bowl landscape and college football, but I haven't seen a lot of rumors really popping up. I mean, I know, of course, again, COVID is running rampant through bowl season. Bowl games are getting canceled left and right, but I haven't seen anything that's, concrete or even has any legs that's saying that our game will be affected. I mean, who knows? You never know what's going on behind the scenes, but I haven't seen it personally. I would tell you guys this. I will tell you this. I think that if there were to be an announcement, just a total speculation here, this is not me saying, guys, it's going to happen or anything crazy like that. I think it would come by end of day today if that were to happen. But I don't think so. I mean, I have not heard anything that would make me think that the game is at risk of not happening. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I think we should be okay. Again, 48 hours, just under 48 hours until kickoff. The Gamecocks taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels in the 2021 Dukes Mayo Bowl. I appreciate you guys. You guys don't have to give me like literally play-by-play updates. I will get this game on the TV at some point. But, yeah, of course, Auburn and Houston playing in the Birmingham Bowl. There's some other really good games today, by the way. Let's see. There's some other really good games. Other really, really good games. Let's see here. Trying to pull up the other games today. Yeah. So you got Air Force Louisville at 3:15. Mississippi State at Texas Tech is going to be a fun one, 6:45. NC State, UCLA in the Liberty Bowl. That's another good game. And then West Virginia, Minnesota tonight. So a ton of good football tonight. Quick update, by the way, guys. Of course, last night we played UNC on Heisman. Really, really fun. Really fun stuff. We played the game, played UNC on Heisman last night, our NCAA football content. Tonight, we are doing the simulation of the Dukes Mayo Bowl. 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll do the simulation. They run about an hour or so, but we will simulate the game. Gamecocks against UNC. You guys know how this content rolls. It's a lot of fun. Some of the most fun content that we get to make. So, again, that will be tonight at 7 o'clock. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we will run that simulation, streaming it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and we'll post the link, of course, on Twitter as well. So, going to be a lot of fun. Really, really good stuff. Going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. If you are in the Big Cock Club Discord, be sure to head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, to be sure that your questions are answered. Brian Lattimore, take a really early break and get the game up. It's fine. It's no big deal. If I had the freaking remote sitting over there. When I go to my first break, I think the game's actually streaming on YouTube, so I can just bring it up on YouTube or I'll get it set up. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Guys, I'll be totally honest with you. I'm a college football fan. Don't get me wrong. I like college football. I like watching games. But I've gotten to the point where, like, if I'm not creating content around it, it's, it's not like it's must-see. Like, I have to watch it. Like, it's must-see TV. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to watch it. You know what I mean? So, good game. But there's a lot of good football. I think I'm most intrigued, though. Auburn Houston's a cool one. That Mississippi State Texas Tech game, bro, that's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be a hell of a game with Mike Leach and the amount of offense we'll probably see in that game. That's going to be an awesome game. By the way, guys, a quick update. This is totally random, but a quick update on the setup behind me, which I didn't even realize. We don't even have the whiteboard up today. We are probably going to take an early break. I'm all over the place, man. My brain's going 1,000 miles an hour, getting clips up on YouTube and all that. Don't even have the whiteboard up behind me. Here's going to be the update for the setup behind me, though. We're probably going to run with this setup through the end of the year through Friday. Going to change it up, though. My brother got me that helmet. We're probably going to put the helmet in the background. I don't know what that means for the future of the whiteboard, though. I don't know what that means for the future of the whiteboard. So I can't believe nobody told me there's no whiteboard in the background. I don't know. Either way, we'll get that put together and put that up after our first break. Great Tuesday to have a Tuesday. It's a weird week. It's a weird week, right? The week between Christmas and New Year's, everything's just kind of all over the place. So either way. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you all rocking and rolling with the punches. Again, great podcast that dropped this morning as well. Episode 564, talking with former Gamecocks football player Alex McGrath. Always a pleasure to chat with Alex. And, we had a lot to discuss, by the way. This right here, the old Spencer Rattler edition, the Spencer Rattler and Austin Stogner editions. We talked recruiting. We talked, of course, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, all kinds of stuff. The helmet will go up. Like I said, we're probably going to rock with this setup behind me until Friday, but I don't know. I might just do it today. I don't know. The helmet will go up behind me, but again, that might mean the end of the whiteboard because I don't know where the whiteboard would go. I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out. Austin King, any tips on parking for Thursday? There's a lot of good parking garages, Austin, around. So, I mean, you shouldn't have any issues. I mean, I would just say park somewhere in Uptown. You shouldn't have any issues finding parking. There's plenty of options when it comes to parking. Again, I don't know, like, prices and stuff like that. Yours truly will be heading up there tomorrow, and I think we're getting an Airbnb, so we're going to walk to the stadium. But, you shouldn't have any issues, Austin, finding parking. And for those who've been asking, no, there's not going to be an official TSUS tailgate like we did throughout the season. I'm a little disappointed, but realistically, guys, 11:30 a.m. kickoff, just a nightmare logistically trying to get that all set up. Gamecock Central's throwing a tailgate at the Doghouse, which is a place I was planning on stopping by. Also, the Charlotte Gamecock Club. That's probably who I'll be hanging out with, and where I'll be hanging out is their tailgate, and also Ink and Ivy is going to open up at 9 a.m. So there's going to be a ton of stuff to do. I'll be hanging around Romar Bearden Park and the stadium and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a good time. Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting a bunch of great Gamecocks. And, of course, guys, I lived in Charlotte for 4 years. So a lot of good friends up there. I got a lot of friends in the Charlotte Gamecock Club, and it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really, really good time. So, yeah, CLT Gamecocks. Man, that's who I'll probably be hanging out with, CLT Gamecocks. Courtney bringing up the weather. Courtney, don't rain on my parade. No, let's see. What is the weather? Somebody said rain is in the forecast, which would be very interesting. Let's see. Thursday, 43% chance, scattered thunderstorms, high of 72. So, hey, high of 72. The tank top might have to come out, guys. The tank top bandana might have to return. Guys. Might have to return. Just for old time's sake, might have to do it. Jimmy Mendio, do you think there'll be more North Carolina or South Carolina fans there? I think it'll be pretty even. I don't think there will be one more than the other on one side. I think South Carolina fans will travel. I do. I think Gamecock fans will travel. I'm not too worried about like the attendance or anything. So, yeah, I think I think we'll travel well. I think there will be a lot of Gamecocks in the building. So, all right, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Brian Lattimore, appreciate you tuning in, my friend. I think my guy Brennan M's on the road maybe to Charlotte, North Carolina. Like I said, guys, we did the Heisman game last night against UNC in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Tonight, we are doing the simulation. We're doing the simulation of the Duke's Mayo Bowl, so we'd love you guys to tune into that. 7 o'clock. Those are a ton of fun. They're a ton of fun, so looking forward to it. Houston touchdown. Houston just scored. Okay. Let's see. Houston up 7-0. Austin Greer, is he a Pro Bowler? Who? Oh, here we go. Other than Debo and Alshon, who's the most recent South Carolina offensive Pro Bowler? Guess I could look it up, but I want to see if you know. Other than Debo and Alshon, would it be an offensive lineman maybe? Like a AJ Can? Something like that? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I do not know. Maybe a Bruce Ellington? Did he make it? I don't know that he did. Bobo, you're fired. Yeah. Bobo, you're done. You're done. Again, guys, game week. Gamecocks, UNC, Duke's Mayo Bowl. Again, this is, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, though. This is such an interesting week, man, because, again, I feel like most people are off or on some sort of vacation. Oh, Jared Cook. Was it Jared Cook? I think it might have been Jared Cook. Yeah, good call. Pharaoh Cooper. Yeah. This is such an interesting week, though, man. People are off or, it's I don't know. It's an interesting week either way. But excited, man. Excited to get to Charlotte tomorrow. And again, the Charlotte Gamecock Club having an event tomorrow night. We'll be there at that. Going to be a ton of fun. But, yeah, looking forward to the next fun couple of days for sure, man. We've got, Wednesday. Then we've got the bowl game itself on Thursday. Then New Year's Eve on Friday. And, yeah, we'll go into 2022, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to think the year's already come to an end. It's wild. It's wild. What a year it's been. And I think I told you guys this yesterday, but be sure to stay tuned because I think you're going to have a special New Year's Day podcast drop on Saturday. I think we're actually going to do Saturday content because, as you guys know, I like to get out there, best moments from the year that was and top 5 things I'm looking forward to in the upcoming year and all that good stuff. So going to be a ton of fun. Then, of course, guys, literally next week, a week from today, SEC play starts for Gamecocks men's basketball. How about that? Brack, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. Dustin, what's up, man? Yeah, ready to be in Charlotte for sure. Ready to be in Charlotte. Like I said, guys, it's also a great day to rock some new merch. The QB1 merch, the Beamer Rattler hat. You love to see it. You love to see it. Courtney Washington said, I kind of have an idea of how this game will go because living out here in North Carolina, I've watched some of the UNC games this season. Courtney, how you feeling? I'll open that question up to everybody. How are you guys feeling in regards to the game? Of course, tomorrow's show, I will lock in my official prediction. Overall thoughts, feelings on this game. Certainly I think we all understand the matchups that are. The matchups that are for this football team and the challenge that it'll be. UNC is very good at running the football. They've got a quarterback that can run the football, and you have not stopped the run worth a damn. You also do not have J.J. Enagbare or Zaquandre White or Jason Brown playing in this game. So, how do you guys feel with the game overall? I think it's going to be a game where South Carolina is going to have to find a way to keep up offensively. They're going to have to find a way. You're going to have to score to win this game. You're not going to hold down UNC, I think, to 17 or 20 points. You're going to have to score. You're going to have to score 24, 27, 30 points, I think, to win. And I just can South Carolina keep up? Again, I'm not trying to spoil my prediction, but can South Carolina keep up? That's the big question. Does Zeb Nolan have a Herculean effort in his back pocket? Does the Gamecocks offensive line, can they do what they did against Florida and somehow, some way pave the way for a 200-plus rushing yard day? I think you probably got to run for 200 or more yards in this game. To have a realistic shot to win, I think you've got to run for 200 or more yards. I just don't, we know what Zeb Nolan, how he's limited, his limitations. You're going to have to run the ball effectively. No doubt. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. I do want to continue to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Caden Gibson says 38-27 North Carolina. Brian Lattimore says 34-23 UNC. Brian Deal, hopefully, but the spread is probably about right. Austin Greer, 31-13, North Carolina. Carolina Titans says our best players aren't playing, so a win maybe would be a stretch with Howell playing with his guys. Jesse Dunn, 35-27 if we show up to play. 35-27 South Carolina or UNC? Brandon Watt says, I believe their game plan is running, feed Harris, Amos, and Lloyd all day long. It's got to start with Kevin Harris. I think he's going to get the bulk of the carries. What about Juju? How big of a game plan or how big of an impact does Juju make in this game? How big of an impact does Juju McDowell make in the ball game? Again, guys, great podcast that dropped this morning. Great conversation with Alex McGrath, man. Truly a blessing to get to chat with Alex and have him on the show and him, hear his perspective on things and everything else. It's a really, really good time. So, Kamen says Juju's not been used appropriately. Well, I think Kamen, what happened is he got in the doghouse. I mean, he got suspended, and he hadn't really hardly touched the football since. So I just – it's hard for me to come down on the coaching staff when Juju screwed himself. I mean, he did. He got suspended. He screwed himself. So – and they rode the hot hand, which was Zaquandre White, right? They rode the hot hand, which was Zaquandre White. So – Aaron Gibson, Colonel Zeb goes off on his way out. We win 28-24. I would love to see it, man. I would love to see it. Ryan Lattimore will need 10 points off of special teams and turnovers to win this game, not including field goals. Need a punt, kick, return, pick six, something of that nature. Yeah, I think special teams need to play a part. I think your defense has obviously got to continue to be opportunistic, get the ball off people, make big plays. Where if all things are equal and it's just your offense against their offense, you don't stand a chance, guys. You simply put, don't stand a chance. You simply put, do not stand a chance. So you're going to have to get some big plays in your defense. You're going to have to get some plays from special teams. So Travis says, be honest, don't feel confident this game can't stop quarterbacks that can get away. How will we magically stop it now? And, dude, it's crazy. That's the thing that jumps out the most when I look at UNC statistically. It is crazy how many yards and how effective of a runner Sam Howell was this season. Guys, he ran for over 800 yards. He ran for 11 touchdowns. Sam Howell was more potent than any running back on our roster. So, not only do you have to stop Ty Chandler, you got to stop Sam Howell. You know what I mean? So, I will be very curious, the chess match that is Clayton White and what he's going to have up his sleeve to combat the UNC offense. Because I think you got to sort of pick your poison. You know what I mean? Do you want to load the box and put your defensive backs on islands and let Sam Howell do his thing? Or do you sit back, but you really run the risk at that point of Ty Chandler and Sam Howell in the run game just having a field day on you? So, Colonel Titan says, I would say Jaheim Bell and Amarian Brown were underutilized for the most this past season. And that's fair. Colonel Titan, that's fair. How much of that falls on the quarterback? Because I know in that comment, Colonel Titan, you want to blame Satterfield. And I get it. I'm not like, over here just defending the crap out of Marcus Satterfield, but were the plays there? I don't know. Were some of the plays there that didn't get made? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and I do agree with you, Kamen. I agree with you that you have to commit to stopping the run first. You have to commit to stopping the run first. You have to. If they're able to run the football 5, 6, 7 yards a pop, it's just going to break your will as a defense. I mean, absolutely. So I think you got to commit to stopping the run first. Take the risk of, hey, we're going to put our defensive backs on an island and let them do their thing, and we'll live or die with that game plan. But yeah, you can't sit back and just let them run it down your throat. You can't do it. So, and that's what I expect Clayton White to do. So I just want to see an aggressive attacking defensive game plan against it's a bowl game, right? Like, it's important. Winning the game's important. Don't get me wrong. It is. But why not take risks in a bowl game, right? I mean, nobody's going to come down on you for rolling the dice in a bowl game. No, nobody is. It's not the playoff. Like, nobody is. So, yeah, I think we're going to see that, an attacking, aggressive defense. Brenton Brooks, yeah, we're going to have to run the ball and stop the run. Yeah, and again, I know that gets boring. I know people get so tired of hearing me say that, but in this game, it's just the name of the game for Carolina. Can you run the football? Can you stop the run? Because guys, you look at it. Even with the opt-outs, you feel like there's really no excuse. Like, South Carolina should be able to move the football. We're talking about a UNC defense that's giving up 32 points per game. You should be able to move it in some capacity. So, guys, we're going to take an early break so I can get the whiteboard up and get this Auburn game on the tube. But either way, I want to continue to hear from you, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, guys, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. You see we have the whiteboard back up. I got the game on the TV. We're good now. We're rocking. We're rolling here on a Tuesday, December the 28th, 2021. So, again, we've actually got the game on now in the studio, just watching some football, doing the damn thing here. Feels good to be good here on a Tuesday, December the 28th. Guys, like I said, also a great day to rock new merch. You see the QB1 shirt, the hat, looking good, folks. Go get yours today, tsus.store. tsus.store is where you can find all of that merch. Let's see, Houston up 7-0. 5:37 left in the first quarter, and Auburn is about to punt. The Fighting Mike Bobos having trouble offensively. Who would have ever guessed that? Let's see. Bruce says, if UNC is only 6-6, their ACC schedule, and we're 6-6 with an SEC schedule, how can they be that much better than us? We're talking UNC, not Clemson or Pitt. Well, Bruce, I think here's how, because I know we make a huge to-do over SEC versus ACC, but that doesn't tell the whole story. It doesn't. And it's about matchups, Bruce. It's about matchups, okay? It's about matchups. And, I'll ask you, Bruce, I'll turn the question back on you. Do you think the Gamecocks match up well in this game? Because I'm not, I'm locking in my prediction tomorrow. South Carolina could very well win this football game. But let's call it for what it is. The matchup is not favorable. It's not. The things that UNC does well, you struggle against. You struggle against. You've struggled all year against it. You haven't stopped the run all season. Haven't stopped it all year. So, it's not a great matchup. It's not a favorable matchup. Caden Gibson, I think his fans, we all overhyped Amarian Brown when he transferred in, didn't look impressive in his time on the field. Dude, yeah, I literally had him listed as wide receiver 1, so I look like a complete idiot. So, again, guys, questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. I know we're a couple of days out, but do you guys have any special New Year's Eve plans? You guys do anything big for New Year's Eve? My mindset's kind of shifted on New Year's Eve. I used to be like, go out, get a table, do the whole thing. I don't know. I kind of enjoy like just chilling at the house, crunching the numbers from the year. And it's, obviously become a lot of fun because the way the business has grown and you guys rocking and rolling with us and showing support and all that good stuff. But I don't know. I'm not saying I'll never go out again for New Year's Eve. I'm not saying that, but I kind of like just hanging out at the house. I feel like New Year's Eve is such a house party type thing anyways. But I like hanging out at that. I'm just curious. What do you guys have planned for New Year's Eve? Connor says, I'm taking the under on the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Mistake or not? Connor, best bet. I dropped it yesterday, under 59. The total to me makes no sense. The total makes no sense. Truly. I mean, like I understand UNC's defense sucks. I get it. But, I mean, you're telling me the game could end up 31-27 and it hits the under? That to me is wild. Like, that's wild. Because the only way South Carolina wins this game is if they hold it to a score of like 24-20, 27-24. If UNC hits 30 points, the Gamecocks have no chance. I mean, truly. The Gamecocks have no chance. How in the world did he escape that? Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's, that total to me. So, yeah, I'd say hammer the under. Hammer the under for sure. By the way, guys, in case you missed it, this happened yesterday. And by the way, looks like the Stani Henderson has been named SEC Women's Basketball Co-Player of the Week for her performance, I believe, in the Stanford game. How about that? Women's returns to action, Thursday, right? SEC play begins Thursday night at 7. So we got the football game in the morning. We got the women's game at night. How about that? That'll be a fun Thursday. Brandon Watts, we won't score that much, 24 at most. I mean, I think that's the challenge. You're going to have to score 24, 27, 30 to win this ball game. Can the Gamecocks keep up? And can their defense, bail them out yet again and have a miraculous game and somehow hold down UNC offensively? I mean, again, we're talking about a UNC offense that averages 36, 37 points per game. Their offense wasn't really the problem this year. It was their defense. Their defense was trash. Yeah, there's so many good bowl games today, man. So many good bowl games. First Responder Bowl, Liberty Bowl, and the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. But, Matthew, I really don't see the women losing a regular season game this year. I don't either. I don't either. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you lose to UConn the next time you play them, but realistically, how many games, if you lose a game, how many will you lose? 2? Maybe 2? I mean, who's going to beat them? I mean, Carolina's beat. I mean, it's not like we've just stacked up these non-conference wins where it's just like you're playing nobodies. Like, we beat half the top 10 already. So, yeah. Nan Martin, heading out at my daughter's house to watch football, of course, and eat those collards and black-eyed peas and talk about how good we're going to be next year. We love Beamer. I love that, Nan. Love to hear that. Connor, do you think Rattler actually has a Heisman chance with this upcoming offense? We'd have to win a lot of games. We would. I'm going to say no. That guys, and again, we got a long time before kickoff next year, right? But that is the thing I think that we'll want to make sure we keep perspective. That because I think with the addition of Spencer Rattler, and I'm excited as hell, obviously. I mean, look at the merch. I'm excited as hell. You got to still, though, keep realistic expectations. Like, are we going to score 40 points per game? Probably not. No, we're not. Are we going to go win 10, 11, 12 games? No. I don't think – I think it's still going to be a process. We've still got to build. I mean, it's a great positive to add Spencer Rattler, but when you start talking about him winning the Heisman, I think that's a little overzealous. Spencer Webster, we played 3 ranked teams in a row again on January the 6th to the 13th. Tennessee makes me most nervous in conference play, but we want revenge. Indeed. I mean, we might lose a game. But again, as I said before, and it's meant as no disrespect whatsoever. Savannah, our season doesn't start till March Madness. It doesn't. It doesn't. It truly doesn't. I mean, it's this right now. It's awesome. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but our goals are so much bigger than just winning an individual regular season game. I mean, and again, that's a blessing. That's a blessing that we've reached that point. But it's really, and I almost hate to say it because it's like it's such a high bar. It's the highest bar possible. But it's really national championship or bust for Dawn Staley's team. I mean, it is. And when you have the kind of roster they have, I mean, what else? What other could the expectations be? I mean, you have the best roster in women's college basketball. It's not even close. So, Carolina Titan says, Gamecocks 27, UNC 24. Parker White with a winning field goal to cap off his career at South Carolina. Wouldn't that be cool? How many points does he need? He's not far. What is it, like maybe 6 or 9 or something like that? He doesn't need many. Again, guys, questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you. Questions, comments, everything else. We can talk Dukes Mayo Bowl. We can talk women's basketball. We can talk whatever you guys want here on this Tuesday. I do want to show you something really quickly, by the way. I know we probably still got a lot of Braves fans in here. Piece for the studio. I finally got around to framing it. Check this bad boy out. Ooh. Oh, yes. Shout out my guy Harrison, by the way, for getting me the newspaper. Going to be hanging that up in the studio very soon. So I tell you, we need a bigger studio. We're running out of room. We got to get a bigger studio. I'm literally running out of wall space, which is a blessing, truly. So let's see. Savannah Webster, I've started looking into Nashville over the SEC tournament. The men's SEC tournament is in Tampa. Really? That sounds fun. That sounds very fun. Savannah, are you saying you've been looking into it as far as like you're going, or what do you mean? Matthew asks, I might have missed it, but is Rattled on campus yet, or will he be in the summer? He's not on campus yet. I mean, again, Matthew, you got to think it's the week between Christmas and New Year's. Nobody's on campus right now. Everybody's home. No students are here. And the spring semester doesn't even start until January the 10th. So, yes, he's going to be on campus. I would imagine probably, sometime next week. I think next week he'll get here. But, no, he's not on campus right at this second. So, he's training wherever his own spot. So, kind of tight. So, only 3 points behind Elliott Fry. Wow. 3 points. So, there's a good chance he breaks the record. Ricky, what are your thoughts on Frank Martin and the job he has done? Here we go, the Frank Martin conversation. I like Frank Martin. We've talked a lot about Frank Martin. I'm not on the fire Frank Martin train necessarily. Again, at some point, guys, I said it before the season, listen, it's cutthroat. When you're getting paid millions of dollars, it is what it is. If you miss the tournament this year, if you miss the NCAA tournament, here's what you have to do, Ricky. You have to take a step back, and you have to ask yourself, okay, we made one NCAA tournament in 10 seasons. Those are just stats. That's not feelings. That's not emotions. Those are stats. Are we okay with that? Is that good enough? And I understand it was a Final Four. I get it. It was a Final Four. Are we okay with that? Is that good enough at South Carolina? I understand how tough the job is. I understand how porous your history is in basketball. I get it. But at some point, you just have to ask that question. So, I mean, I like Frank. I think Frank is he's obviously a good basketball coach, guys. The question's never been, does he know basketball? The question's been, can he find players? Can he recruit well enough and find players that want to play for him, that will not just play for him, but flourish under him? I like this year's team, honestly. I really do. I like this year's team. This year's team is fun to watch. This year's team, I doubt you rescheduled the game against SC State. This year's team 9-3 and should have been 10-3 in non-conference play. I mean, I think that's solid. Certainly you had some ugly losses, but I would say you've done a pretty good job in non-conference. Now, next week, we start SEC play. And I think you got to go 500 or better. To realistically have a shot to make the NCAA tournament. And it's not going to be easy. Get this, guys, by the way. You're 7-0 at home. How about that? 7-0 at home. And that will be put to the test next week, Tuesday, as you take on Auburn. 6:30 tip-off at the CLA. Then you play next Saturday at noon. How about that? Next Saturday at noon tip-off. We start with our Saturday games. And that game being in Nashville. But, I like Frank Martin a lot, man. I'm not someone that is going to be leading again the fire Frank Martin train unless things just really spiral out of control. We all want to see a winning product, man. Because here's the thing. Is basketball the third most popular sport at South Carolina? Yes. In my opinion, yes. I think people care more about baseball than they do basketball because we've actually put a good product on the diamond much, much, much more consistently. I mean, obviously, it speaks for itself what we've done on the diamond. But I do think Gamecock fans love their basketball. I mean, guys, again, I say this not in a disrespectful way, but, I mean, we're putting 12,000, 13,000 people in the arena for women's basketball. Like, if you build it, they will come. Gamecock fans, you know what they love more than anything? A winner. A winner. That's it. So, South Carolina fans, I think, want to love men's basketball. We want to show up and show out to CLA. But as I told you before, basketball and baseball are this way too. If you don't put a product on the floor, on the field, what have you, people aren't going to show up. It's not like football where they show up unconditionally. People can say whatever they want. If this makes them upset, so be it. If for whatever reason women's basketball, something happened and we started to not be very good, nobody would show up. Nobody would. That's just call it for what it is. Nobody would. We show up and show out because we're number one in the country. Again, it's just the realities of if football is king, and if it's not football, you have to put a product out there to draw attention, draw a crowd, draw support. You just have to. You just have to. So, but I think our fans want it. I mean, I know I want it. Watching good basketball is fun. It is. It's fun. Watching bad basketball is like watching paint dry. It's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And Matthew says if he doesn't make the tournament this year, it might be time to try something different. And see, I guess that's what's scary is you don't want to make a change just for the sake of it, because you'd hate to find yourself in a position where you make the move on Frank Martin and you downgrade. You see what I'm saying? But we've seen it with football, right? Having a new coach, it can bring you hope, bring you new expectations, a newfound energy, a newfound optimism. Wow, was he in? Oh, wow, incomplete. That was a hell of a throw and catch. T-Mac says, hot take, Cam Smith will be a top 5 defensive back next year. I think Cam Smith's going to be a good player. Yeah, I mean, I think Cam Smith's a very good player. By the way, guys, quick reminder, I'll be going live on ESPN Upstate today talking to my good friend Diddy at 4:20. Be chatting with Diddy at 4:20. So if you guys want to tune into that, I posted the the link all over social media. So if you guys would like to tune in, really excited to talk Duke's Mayo Bowl with my good friend Diddy on ESPN Upstate. Really good stuff. Tanner Lynn, if you fire Frank Martin, he will get another top-notch job, kind of like Muschamp. I don't know. I don't know that he would. I don't know that he would, Tanner, to be totally honest with you. Matthew says, are you going to the bowl game? Yes. Yours truly will be there. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Actually going up tomorrow. So we're going to do the Daily Crow and then probably head straight up to Charlotte. And yeah, going to be a good time. Going to be a good time for sure. Going to be a very, very good time. Auburn a 4th and 2 at the 21. Looks like they're going to go for it. Interesting. If my stream is behind yours, then yeah, it might be because I'm literally streaming it on my TV. So, but again, guys, very excited for the bowl game for sure, man. I mean, obviously, it's anytime South Carolina and North Carolina play each other, and it's a little bit of a rivalry, if you will. And again, is the bowl game? Is it going to be? If you lose, is it an indictment on the future of your program if you win or lose, right? But we talked about it today with Alex McGrath, man. Definitely for sure, just the way it helps you in the offseason with spring ball and workouts and fall camp. When you can win that bowl game, when you can win your last game of the season, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for sure. And I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. Guys, we've talked about it a lot. I don't love opt-outs. I don't. I really don't. We talked about it with Alex, and it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother me to the sense where, like, I'm losing sleep at night because J.J. Nibari opted out or Zaquandre White or what have you. Guys got to make business decisions. I totally get it. But again, I just remember when having the opportunity to add to your school's trophy case mattered, when that was like a really big deal. And I'm just not sure when that became an insignificant thing. Like, we still look back on the teams that won the 01 and 02 Outback Bowls with reverence, right? We remember those days and remember how awesome those games were and how great it was to beat Ohio State. I still think back to the 06 Liberty Bowl, beating Houston. Blake Mitchell, Sidney Rice, Kenny McKinley, Jasper Brinkley. We still, of course, remember the Outback Bowls and the Capital One Bowl during the Spurrier years. I mean, like, winning the bowl game, some of the best memories of Gamecocks football is winning those bowl games. And again, the players on those teams, they still talk about those games. And so it's disappointing that those games it just seems like they don't matter. It just seems like they don't matter anymore, or not nearly as much as they used to. So, Again, I've said it before. I'm not going to die on the ledge of attacking players and saying, oh, they're quitters, like whatever. You listen, you got to make your own business decision. Do whatever you got to do for you. But it's disappointing. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. Again, I just remember when it was really cool. When you've only won, guys, we've been playing football for 129 years. When you've only won 9 bowl games, winning a bowl game at South Gunna is a very, very, very big deal. It's a very big deal. Going to a bowl game is a very, very, very big deal. So I just don't know. I mean, I understand, it's all about the playoff, who's in, whatever. But again, when you've won 9 bowl games in 129 years of football, they're all big. They're all important. And I just don't, I don't know when that became an unimportant thing to guys. I don't know. Everything's about money. It's what about legacy? What about legacy? What about legacy? Right? Players' legacy is just not nearly as important anymore. And again, I'm not calling guys out and, hey, it is what it is. I totally understand, right? You got to make a business decision for you. I get it. Right? Again, a guy like Jason Brown, he's bettering his own situation. I'm not going to come down on the kid and, call him a quitter and whatever. Hey, thank goodness, like I said, we live in a day and age where you can better your own situation. But it may not be a national championship, may not be a conference championship, but why not play and have the opportunity to go out as a champion of something? Why not play and have the opportunity to win your final ball game? Why not? I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. T-Max says, if Howell wasn't playing, I'd predict us to win in less than a heartbeat, but now I have to think of my prediction. Yeah, see, it's interesting Sam Howell's playing. Matthew says, Clowney didn't sit out for the Capital One Bowls last year. Well, I don't really feel like opting out was a thing then. So, and again, I totally understand. Guys don't want to get hurt. I totally get it. But, you're at risk every time you take the field. You could have got hurt all throughout the season too. So I don't know. I don't want to spend the entire show. I don't want to spend the entire show harping on opt-outs and whatever. I mean, things that are really just out of our control. But anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Brandon Watt says, we'll be in Atlanta in 2023. Just watch and see. From your lips to God's ears, Brandon. From your lips to God's ears. T-Mac says, opting out wasn't really a thing back in those days. That was when college football was really, really fun. And I think college football is still fun now. It's just an unfortunate part of the game. That opting out's opting out has just become standard practice. I mean, call it for what it is. It's become standard practice. It's as much a part of the game as the I formation and a chop block. You know what I mean? Like it's just part of the game as that. So that was a hell of a catch on 4th down, by the way. But, then again, I mean, Justin Langford's going off in the comments talking about their quitters. Hey, Justin, coaches quit too. The coaches are the ones setting the example. I mean, what about Lincoln Riley? Is he a quitter? I mean, they're just so I mean, I'm very pro giving power to the players. I am. I'm very pro player. So, a coach, so he didn't catch it. Wow. I'm just saying a coach shouldn't be able to leave, but a player be stuck. That's all I'm saying. And then people talking about, oh, if they don't play in the bowl game, they should give back their tuition money. It's like, come on, guys. Like, really? But I think you'll see, honestly, I think part of the reason, too, man, you have a first-year coach and Shane Beamer and a first-year coaching staff. And, these guys on our roster weren't recruited by Beamer. They don't feel indebted to him to play in the bowl game and risk it all for, but hey, it even happened when Will Muschamp was coach and Deebo Samuel sat out in the Belk Bowl. So, I mean, it happens. Either way, guys, I want to continue to hear from you, your thoughts on that, much more. The bowl game upcoming, the Duke's Mayo Bowl as well. Whatever you guys want to discuss, we can here on this Tuesday, December the 28th, 2021. One of the most unique weeks of the entire year. That week where people are sort of in a lull, in a daze, if you will. People are out of the office, and if you're in the office, just kind of going through the motions, I feel like, for the most part. But, yeah. Whatever. Either way, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We're going to jump into a break. Yeah, let's jump into a break. I want to continue to hear from you on the other side, guys. 843-790-3377. 7 more. Your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you. Tuesday, a game week as the Gamecocks take on the North Carolina Tar Heels in the 2021 Duke's Mayo Bowl. Thursday, 11:30 kickoff on ESPN. Let's see. Getting back to your questions here. Matthew says, baseball will be here before you know it. Indeed, man, we're 52 days away from first pitch. I mean, you think about it, man. Really in, 2.5, 3 weeks? Really 3 weeks. We're going to start talking baseball. We're going to start talking baseball and breaking down position units. And, I mean, it's, you guys know how much I love baseball, the fact I'm a baseball guy. So, obviously, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it, man. Hanging out with the Rowdy Roosters once again. Justin Langford says they should have options if a coach leaves, but if you have a decent turnaround like we did this year with this last 2 years, I think you should stick it out. Well, Justin, I hear you, man. I hear you. Listen, I get it. I get it. Fans are always going to think of their university and their school first, right? Because you love your school. Let's call it what it is. You love your school and your university more than you love any individual player. You want what's best for the university first, not the player, right? And I said this before on social media, and I'll say it again. Guys, players are not as big of fans of your school as you are. They're not. They don't love your school like you do. That's not meant to be said in like a negative way, but it's just the reality. So like school pride, that's a thing of It's a thing of the past, man. It's a thing of the past. And I hate to say that. But it's just the reality. It is what it is. So, it doesn't really matter, Justin, what you would do. It's what they want to do. They're going to look out for them first. And so, for example, let's take a guy like J.J. Nibare. He looks at it and says, well, what's the upside of me playing? I'm locked in as a first rounder. What difference does it make? I don't need to play in the game. Brian Lattimore, yeah, it's obviously not enough. The university needs to step up and give them rings or something for winning a bowl game that year. I think they do give them rings. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I could be wrong. I thought you did get a ring for winning a bowl game. Maybe not. I think the bowl games are going to have to start paying players. I really, truly do. Like somebody said earlier, money talks, BS walks. So, if I'm the Orange Bowl, if I'm the Rose Bowl, and I want the best possible product out there, I think they're going to have to start compensating. Man, NIL's a thing now. So I think they're going to have to start compensating the players to play in their bowl games. They give them gifts and stuff like that. You're going to have to throw some cash in there. Bottom line, you're going to have to throw cash. Yeah, Brian, I got the game on TV now. I just saw Houston kick that field goal. They're up 10-0 on Auburn. Up 10-0 on Auburn. Good kick, too. Right down the middle. Let's see. Justin says, proud of the players because they want to go pro, go test those waters, and we wish them well, ... we wish them well. Justin, just say it, man. Just say whatever you want to say about the players that have opted out. Don't bite your tongue. Don't hold back. If you want to say something, just say it, my guy. Just say it, my guy. I will not. I'm not going to die on that ledge, man. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to die on the ledge. All right, let's jump to the phone lines here.
From
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Herbstreit.
To accept, press 1.
Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, doing well, man. Doing well. Just hanging out, watching some ball. Just counting down the minutes till kickoff like we all are.
I just wanted to say, because I just heard you say something about, they're going to probably have to start paying the players. And part of me kind of sort of agrees. Like, I'm torn 50-50 on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I just think with the, NIL has changed the game. Guys are getting played for their name, image, and likeness. And so, again, if I'm the Orange Bowl, and I believe that's the bowl game, and Kenny Pickett, the Pittsburgh quarterback's not going to play, I'm at least going to try to, for the sake of my own bowl game, dangle the carrot in front of his face and throw him $20,000 to play. I mean, they have the money to give.
Right.
So,
But also, like you said, Barry is probably a first-round pick, right?
Right.
Imagine this situation, okay? If Barry plays Thursday and gets hurt, he might not get drafted in the first round after that injury.
Very true.
Does that make sense? That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
You're probably right. He probably wouldn't get drafted in the first round. Yeah, you're probably right.
If I was projected to be drafted number 1 overall, you think I'd be playing in a bowl game? Heck no. If I'm projected to be drafted in the first round, period, I'm not playing in a bowl game.
Yeah, I mean it's a business decision, man. Business decision.
And if you get hurt, you could wind up losing money on a deal. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm like torn 50-50 on it. Like part of me wants to see the best players play, but also I understand, like, if you got a chance at going pro, and it's not, I'm not just talking about football. I'm talking about just any sport, period. If you got a chance to make it to the big time, I wouldn't blame the players for not wanting to play.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only solution, again, is expanding the playoff. Because it's interesting, like opt-outs, football is the only sport where it happens. But, I mean, I guess it's because, hey, in a bowl game, you don't have the opportunity to go win a national championship. You look at basketball, you look at baseball, those are 64 whatever team playoffs. So, of course, if you're in that postseason, you're not going to opt out. So, I don't know. It is what it is. It's, again, like I said earlier, I remember the days where adding to your team's trophy case was a really, really big deal. I mean, again, we still look back on those teams that won the Outback Bowl in the early 2000s and then the Liberty Bowl and, the Spurrier years winning those bowl games. And those are some of the best memories in Gamecocks football history.
One of those both of them were against Ohio State, and one of them, I think if I remember correctly, one of them we dominated them from start to finish.
Yeah, it was a blowout. There was a blowout in one of them. Yeah.
I mean, but again, like you said, like I said, there's 60 in the NCAA tournament for basketball. There's 64 teams in the tournament. Okay, right? There's 64 teams, but in the NCAA football playoff, there's only 4. Okay, and usually by week 2, we already know who's going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
So yes, do I think they need to make the playoffs a little bigger? I think they need to make it 8 teams, 3 at-large bids, like you've said before, and then 5 at-large bids, and then 3 wild cards. I think that could work, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but that's just what I think.
Yeah, no, I think so, man. Again, I think you're going to have to expand the playoff, though. You're going to have to. Because, again, I think that's one of the things that's killed bowl season is they've made it all about the playoff. So, hey, bowl season still matters to us. It still matters to the fans. And it's not like half our team is opted out or anything. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, it does take away some of the luster of bowl season.
The luster and the
South Carolina, let's call it for what it is not going to be putting its best product on the field. It's just not. It's not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of our best linebackers has been out all season, Sherrod Green. Barry's not playing. If Kevin Harris is playing, I'll be shocked.
Well, I think you'll be shocked because Kevin Harris is definitely playing.
What?
Yeah, Kevin Harris is playing. Yeah, for sure. He confirmed that a few weeks ago.
Wow.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely a shocker. I didn't think he'd play.
Yeah, Harris is playing for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to give my 5 or 10 cent on this whole playoff and whole making it mean something and everything. And I think they need to do that. I think they need to do that.
Yeah.
They need to figure out a way that works that basically kind of sort of pleases everybody. Okay? And if that happens, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Make bowl season great again, my friend. Make bowl season great again, for sure.
Yeah. All right, man. You have a good rest of your day, okay?
You too, Robbie. I appreciate you calling in, man. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much. 843-790-3377. 798-437-3377. I want to continue to hear from you all again. We sit here on Tuesday, December the 28th, less than 48 hours away from kickoff. The Gamecocks take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Kind of Titans, as I think the culture Beamer is building will fix the bowl opt-outs for us. Even the team in the upstate has talented players going to the NFL and still play in their bowl games. I mean, I think so as well. I think it'll happen less. When you've got guys that were recruited by Shane Beamer and have played all their football under Shane Beamer and, feel maybe a little bit more indebted to him specifically to play, it'll help. But I just, I'll tell you guys this, though. I think that, again, I think opt-outs are here to stay. I don't think guys are going to just all of a sudden quit opting out. I think it's an out for guys that, they've already locked up their draft stock or where they're going to get drafted. And, they don't see the value. They don't see the value in playing in the bowl game.
From
So,
Brian,
what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on? I just wanted to piggyback on the opt-out discussion. So a big thing to consider, too, is the mentality, right? So you're about to get drafted, go play for some big money. But, most of your players that are going to opt out, that's what their reasoning is. You have to think about the mentality behind that, right? If you're going into that game, let's say that some of those players play. JJ goes out there and plays. And that's in the back of his mind, man. I really hope I don't hurt. And you, as a college athlete, probably know this. You play with any kind of hesitancy, stuff like that. That's when injuries really happen. You go out there and play loose. You're less likely to run in. Obviously you have freak accidents, whatever may happen. But think about like a car crash. A lot of people that are drunk drivers or whatever. When they go into a car crash, a lot of times they don't get hurt because they're loose, they're impaired, whatever. People that get in car crashes that aren't hurt, aren't drunk. That's a lot of times they break their necks or they die, whatever. Very similar, aspects. Whenever that mentality is sitting there in the back of your mind where, man, I really hope I don't get hurt. You really tense up before a hit or something. That's when injuries are more susceptible to happen. So people really have to think about, that stuff whenever they're thinking about these opt-outs. These kids are looking towards their future. They see the future, within arm's grasp. So what's one more game to them? They don't care about that one more game. And even if you throw them $20,000, it may work for a couple of years. And then they may be like, well, what's $20,000 when I'm about to go make $10 million?
Yeah.
Or, just throwing a random number out there. But something to consider.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, when you're playing with that in the back of your mind, the injury, what have you, the injury, the chance of injury, that's like you said, that's when you get hurt. That's certainly when you get hurt. I don't know. Maybe I'll tell you this. Maybe the mentality of bowl games just needs to change. Where instead of it's the most important thing is winning a bowl game, maybe the most important thing should be playing a bunch of young guys and just getting ready for the future. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I want to win the game. We all want to win the game, but if you get to a point where guys are just opting out left and right, it's going to turn to, like a lot of guys that didn't get opportunities this year, they'll get to play and make a splash, and maybe that can springboard them into a big 2022 or the next year that follows. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's just, you know, you can hate it, you can dislike it, you can call them quitters, but at the end of the day, it's here to stay. I mean, guys are not going to stop opting out. They're just not.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, they fulfill their obligations. At this point, they don't owe the program anymore. You know, as much as people think they do, they don't. Otherwise, it would be a requirement. And I'm sorry, it's not a requirement to play, you know, any game of the season. I mean, you got a legitimate concern, whatever. A lot of times, kids will sit on the bench for a week if they have, you know, something personal going on. It's not new. It's just a lot of times you don't hear it. It's not publicized.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. You go play with the ones you got.
Some young playmakers to get a chance to play.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? So, I'd love to see Colton Gauthier get a shot at quarterback. Why not? You know, what do you have to lose? I mean, it's a bowl game. So,
yeah, I think it's also important to mention, you know, we'll talk about like the big three, right? You know, you got your football, your basketball, and your baseball. So I think it's the same as baseball as it is basketball, that you can get drafted straight out of high school. It's not that way in football. We're lucky that we get to watch some of these guys for 3 years before, you know, they fulfill their obligation. They can actually get drafted. So that's cool in its own right. You know, imagine if we got to see some guys, you know, that we recruit in baseball that don't even play for our program. Imagine if we got to see those guys for 3 years. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it would. So, there's a lot of guys. I mean, I'll tell you this though. I am in favor of guys. I don't think football, because you know you need that development. I think at the college level, but I think they should let guys for basketball go straight to the pros. I mean, if you want to leave after high school, I think you should be able to go. I mean, what's the point in going to college for 1 year? I don't get it. So
that's what it is at basketball, right? 1 year.
1 year, you can go whenever. Yeah. So. One and dones. So I don't know. It's.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great. I mean, I understand the development prospect of it, but I think it'd be awesome to be able to see some of those guys, you know, play it out in the college levels. You know, college feels like that stepping stone between high school and you know, and the pros. And it'd be nice to be able to see them for all sports, but obviously, you know, there's some underlying things that kind of bridge the gap there. But I don't know. We're fortunate in the sport of football that we get to see these guys for 3 years.
Yeah.
So if they get, you know, through their third year or even their fourth year, depending on, you know, a COVID situation or whatever, and they want to skip a bowl game, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk about it all we want, but it's, you know, it's here to stay. Unless you can build the culture to kind of change that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you just have to.
Guy 20,000.
Yeah, you just have to appreciate bowl season for what it is. You got to appreciate bowl season for what it is. You know, and just understand that opt-outs are part of it. Like you said, just appreciate, hey, J.J. Barry had a great career at South Carolina that made a lot of big plays and did a lot of great things for us. So, you know, you can either be miserable over the fact he's not playing in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, or you can be appreciative of what he did at Carolina. And personally, me, you know, I mean, like, for example, we look back on Deebo Samuel. Like, I don't think anybody looks back on Deebo Samuel in like a negative light because he didn't play in the Belk Bowl. I just, you know, it is what it is. I don't think, you know, it only – when you hold a grudge, it only hurts the person with the grudge. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt the person you're holding the grudge against. So there's just no point in holding grudges. So it is what it is, man. We'll go play with the 22 we got and just go from there.
I mean, I know it's not apples to apples, but, you know, I think back to, like, you know, a Marcus Lattimore injury, or, you know, even Deebo when he's broke his leg, you know, stuff like that. Imagine if that happens in a bowl game. You know how bad as a fan I would feel, much less, you know, a coach or something along those. You know, I can't blame those guys ever. You know, that's the decision they want to make. In my mind, they've earned it.
I agree. No, I agree, man. I agree. Like I said, you got to let those guys make business decisions. They fulfill their obligations to South Carolina, and, you know, just keep it moving. That's all you can really do. Just keep it moving. So.
Yep. All right, man. I just want to throw some perspective your way.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it as always, my friend. Appreciate you calling in.
Yep. Later.
Yep, later. Take care. Great stuff. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Matthew says, I wish Gauthier would play more than Zeb. Don't get me wrong. I love Zeb. Let's get Gauthier some game day snaps. Yeah, I mean, how far behind is Colton Gauthier? Like truly, that he couldn't even sniff the field this season. It's crazy to me. Crazy. Carolina Titan, yeah, as far as I know, Jacob Coing, however you say his name, he's still in the transfer portal. Yes. That's the guy from UTEP, right? So, yeah, as far as I know, he's still in the portal. And, yeah, I think the Gamecocks, we're certainly going to add – I think we're certainly going to add 2 or 3 more receivers out of the portal. Yeah, we're not done. We're not done yet, for sure. We're not done yet. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Jeff Gullich just play the young guys. Brendan Watts, new guy from Georgia State, 6'4" receiver in the portal now. Just go find some playmakers, man. You got to go find some guys for Spencer Rattler throw it to. That's it. You got to go find some guys for Spencer Rattler throw it to. That's it. So. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines here real quick.
Call from
Dalton.
Let's see. Dalton, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing all right, man. I just, since we're on the bowl game topic, I wanted to bring a little bit of gambling talk into the show today. Because I think one of the big things with gambling on bowl games is just like the motivation factor. And obviously the opt-outs are big. But I just feel like if we're going to treat bowl games more like exhibition matches, if they aren't in the playoffs, then, why do we even play them in the first place? Or why don't we label them as exhibition matches? Like, why do we have a line on those games either way? It would be like, putting a line on spring training baseball.
Which does happen, by the way.
MLB.
Which there are sickos out there that bet and gamble on spring training games. That actually does happen.
I mean, that's crazy to me that people would even make a line for that.
Well, and I will say this. I will say this, though. I will say this. Because we just focus on, from the South Carolina side, we just focus on J.J. Ngbare, Zaquandre White, Jason Brown. Bro, there's like 80 other players on the roster who are busting their asses ready to play in the game. So, I mean, it's not like half of a team is opting out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Looking at the big schools, like Kenny Pickett out now. But there's 21 other starters that are gearing up, or 20 other starters. Another running back out now too. But there's a bunch of other guys that are gearing up to play. You know what I mean? So it matters to them. It matters to the majority. Just to play devil's advocate, like I said,
it does matter. It does matter, but like this morning, I placed a bet on Houston to beat Auburn. The reason why I placed that bet is not only do I think Houston is just a little bit better of a team, but also I thought that Houston would be more motivated to win the game. Whereas Auburn is just sort of there. Like the school said, hey, you got to go to Birmingham and play in the Birmingham Bowl. And so, have fun doing whatever they do in Birmingham. And it's, it seems to be working out for me right now as far as my money, but that's just no fun where you look at a bowl game and you go, which team is going to be more motivated to win this game? Which team doesn't care? Because ultimately that's a big factor of betting and doing all that stuff. And while it is better for predicting football games, it's just not as good for entertainment value, because ultimately you want the best possible team on both sides competing against each other. And there's a reason why that line for us against UNC started out as a touchdown underdog, and then we went to a touchdown and a field goal underdog against UNC. And it's because a lot of our playmakers are out. This is not the best possible product that South Carolina could be putting on the field right now.
Right.
And
Well, I think motivation factor.
Support my team.
Yeah, to your point, motivation factor, I think, has always been an intriguing part, or at least a huge factor in these bowl games. Like, I don't think that's a new thing. I think that's always been, you got one team that's chomping at the bit and excited to be there. Maybe you got one team that, like you said, like they're disappointed in how their season went. They're not exactly thrilled to go to Birmingham and play in a game. So it's just always been a part of it, man. Exactly. It's what makes bowl season so random also.
It does. And it's fun, the bowl pick'em challenge and all that type stuff. It's hard to pick all the bowl games, but I don't know. Just bowl season was one of my favorite parts of college football, and I, like the previous caller was saying, like, I understand why people are opting out. It's a business decision and all that, but I'm just sort of concerned about the sport. And, when everything becomes a financial decision, then what does that turn it into? Like, if I wanted to watch, the highest level of football, I'd go ahead and watch the NFL. I do watch the NFL a lot, but that's where you're getting the highest level of competition. That's where, the games, the deficit in each game is the lowest of any, type of football. And college football has just never been about that, so I guess it's fine in some ways. Like, the product on the field is still good a lot of the time, but it just feels like that luster is wearing off of it a little bit, like that year by year as these new changes get enforced, it just feels a lot different. And I can't necessarily say that I like it that much, Yeah,
and amateurism is dwindling away. Yeah, amateurism is dwindling away for sure. I mean, you echo the points that Phil, who calls in a lot, he said before, is that with the NIL stuff and other things that happen, it makes, for him at least, college football less likable. And I don't know that. I mean, I think college football, man, there's just always going to be diehard fans, and I think, like you said, it's a great product, and the pageantry, the tradition. I don't think any of that's going to go away, but yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of decisions that are being made now that are business decisions. I mean, you look at what just happened over the early signing period and guys signing big NIL deals, and it's just, a lot of that amateurism is going away.
That Deion claims that Travis Hunter didn't get that $1.5 million deal. Who knows? There have been people who have been researching that. Most of them FSU fans mad that they lost the number 1 overall recruit. But, I don't know. It's always been under the table, obviously, but I just don't think, like, now that players know that they can get paid, and now that players know that, they can just go from school to school and ask for more money and say, like, it's almost like a signing bonus. Whichever team is willing to give you a bigger signing bonus is the one that you're going to commit to if you're like a top level prospect. Right.
Yeah.
It's not really about fit. It's more about, hey, do I like this coaching staff? Are they going to give me as much money as I want? XYZ, So I don't know. That's just my feeling on it. Like, I don't want to, be a Debbie Downer about it or anything. Like, I still think potentially South Carolina could go out there on Thursday. I'm going to be at the game and play, a hell of a game and get and, upset UNC as a double-digit underdog. Obviously all of our players are going to have to play a perfect game, and we're going to have to go crazy, in the run game, which we haven't really done for the most part all year. But it could happen. Is it highly unlikely? Yes. But it just feels like it just neither team really cares that much. It's mainly the fans who are invested, which is, kind of how it's always been.
Yeah.
The fans are way, way more invested than the players are, in everything. But yeah, I mean, that's just what I think.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I think you're right, though. I think you're right, is that fans have always been more invested than players. I mean, that's just, like I said before, is that, and I'm not saying in a negative, derogatory way, but, fans love their school more than players do. That's bottom line. Players don't love their school like fans do. It's just it. Bottom line. A lot of these guys, most of them, the majority, they didn't grow up Gamecock fans. They just went to USC because the opportunity in playing for an SEC school, and I mean, there's obvious reasons in recruiting why guys goes to certain places, and that's across college football. That's not just a South Carolina thing. It's just, a lot of guys are just looking to, hey, what school is going to get me to the league? That's it. So
right. I mean, I remember that Tim Tebow talked about this. He had like a viral clip about this subject, a year ago or whatever. Because Tim Tebow he's been a Gator fan his entire life. Like his entire family went to the University of Florida, and he wanted to go to the University of Florida. It was like his dream to win a national championship there. So like players like that are, they're few and far between, shall we say. Someone like Tim Tebow is not the rule for most schools, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, look at Matt Corral at Ole Miss. I mean, it's just a case-by-case basis, man. You just never know. So some guys will play, some will opt out. I mean, it's just, it's hard to determine which is which.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Shane Beamer can, as he gets more guys, as the program, takes a turn, and every guy on the roster was recruited by Shane Beamer and, wants to play for Shane Beamer and wants to be a Gamecock and play every single game that they possibly can until they either make it to the NFL or graduate. That's the hope we have. But I just think, that's probably just an asinine, thought process, because again, I'm thinking from a fan's perspective of like, if I was out there on the field, would I want to give it 150% every single time, and like win games for the University of South Carolina. But that's not how players think,
Some of them. Yeah. I mean, just is what it is. But like I said, man, business decisions are being made. And again, it's not going away anytime soon. So you can either adapt with the times or, let it ruin the game for you, I guess. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to shit on Dabo, like me included. I don't think very fondly of Dabo Sweeney. I think he's kind of a con man, and he's the crybaby of college football. But I think a couple of his points, were correct in that the game is changing. Now, would Dabo say the game is changing for the worse because it directly negatively impacts his coaching style and the way he runs a program? Probably. But am I going to say he's like 100% wrong? Probably not. So, I mean, hopefully that the NCAA will be able to step in and put, some reasonable guidelines on all these changes. But it just feels like college football is to a point where, a gigantic change will occur, something that changes the very nature of the game on and off the field. And then the NCAA will just say, well, this is what you wanted. So, no rules. It's the Wild West now. So I don't know how you fix that, but that's where it's going. Like, I honestly don't even see a point for the NCAA to exist at this current juncture. With they literally do nothing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, if you want something done, do not go to the NCAA to get it done. That is a fact.
Yeah, I mean, they're not good. They're not good for anything. But that's just my 50 cents for today, and I'm hopefully going to be at the game on Thursday, and hopefully we pull out a win. But at the end of the day, I'll still have the experience, win or lose, and I support my team no matter what, no matter how much we suck or how good we are.
Absolutely. Love to hear it, man. Yeah, we'll definitely link up at the game in Charlotte on Thursday. But yeah, man, always appreciate you calling in and sharing your perspective for sure.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one, and you enjoy the trip to Charlotte. I'll be up there as well, hopefully, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, man, for sure. Take care, Dalton. I appreciate you. 843-790-3377. Speaking of the experience, I'm looking forward to it because I've only had one bowl game experience in my entire life, and that was the 2018 Belk Bowl. And I think we all know and remember how that game went. So, looking forward to a bowl game experience that's not quite as brutal as the last one that I endured. Again, 843-790-3377. Guys, at 843-790-3377. Houston up on Auburn. 10-3 at halftime. Death, taxes, and Mike Bobo's offense is sucking. Truly. Matthew says Chris needs to see a dub in Bank of America Stadium. Yeah, I mean, again, we haven't talked about it a ton, but the irony of this ballgame, I don't know if it's lost on you guys, but it's certainly not lost on yours truly. The last time that we played in Bank of America Stadium and the last time that we played against UNC at Bank of America Stadium was the Fire Must Chant video. So it's very interesting to make a return trip to B of A against the same opponent, playing the same quarterback, playing against the same coach. So kind of unique. Yeah, Dalton, I forgot. Mike Bobo did get fired. You were correct. It's my apologies. I guess I sort of forgot there. Either way, 10-3 Houston at halftime. Matthew says we got the sunburnt Fire Must Chant clip. Yeah, I'm probably gonna post that on game day or something. I don't know. I'll probably bring it back to life on game day or something. So, but either way, guys, again, want to continue to hear from you. We're gonna take one final break. Continue to take your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You want to talk bowl game on Thursday? We can continue to talk opt-outs, bowl season, whatever. Great Tuesday to have a Tuesday. The final Tuesday of 2021. Isn't that crazy? Final week of the year. Guys, again, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you all here on this Tuesday, December the 28th, 2021. Let's see. Brendan Watts, no new positive COVID test for the team. Game is still on as of now. Where are you seeing that also? I'm just curious. Who posted that? I'm not doubting you. I think you are right. Yeah, so unvaccinated players are actually getting tested today. So, Yep. So I think if anything were to be announced, it would be today at some point. So John Gibbs, last bowl for me was the 2005 or the 06. You're talking about the 06 Liberty Bowl. We beat Houston. I was too young to go out, though, and raise hell afterwards. Yeah, John, I remember watching that one in the garage of my grandfather. That was an incredible game, man. That was so awesome. I mean, I remember when we won that game. That was a huge deal. I mean, that was a really, really, really big deal. That was a fun one. Truly a fun one. So, but yeah, I need to see a dub. So you think about it. I've never seen South Carolina win a game at Bank of America Stadium, not in person. Now, I lived in Charlotte and watched us on TV at a bar beat North Carolina in 2015, but did not go. Dude, that's one of the things I hate when South Carolina plays in Charlotte, bro. It's always so expensive. Like, it is not cheap. It is not cheap. So, not cheap at all. Matthew says, I remember vividly that 06 Clemson game when that Clemson kicker missed the field goal. Yeah, that was a fun one. Spurrier's first win over Clemson. Oh, that's Travis. You're right. I'm crazy. I'm losing my marbles. I did actually watch us beat NC State in 2017. I totally forgot about that game. That was a sneaky, like, really good game. That was a really, really good football game. So, Tyler Winchester, what should college football do about players opting out for bowl games? Tyler, you know what I think fans should do is just accept it. Opt-outs, this is not the end, it's the beginning. Opt-outs are here to stay. The only thing, Tyler, you could do is literally compensate players to play in the game. That's all you could do. That's all you could do. But here's the thing, too, I will say. Again, it's not like you're having entire teams opt out. I mean, we've got 3 guys that aren't playing. There's another 70 guys on the roster that are busting their butts preparing for this game. So, I mean, I understand it's disappointing that some of the best players aren't playing, but there's a lot of guys that are preparing for the game, battling for the game. But, I mean, what can you do? What's the solution? Outside of expanding the playoff, what have you. So, let's see. John Gibbs says, apologies, Chris, but have you decided not to tailgate or post up for a little while, or are you going to go to a bar or the tailgates for the game? Take a break. I know that's a lot to do as early as it is. So, John, good question. So, I'm not throwing a specific, like, TSUS tailgate. I think I'm going to be hanging around where the Charlotte Gamecock Club is going to be, which they're having an event tomorrow night at Ink and Ivy from 6 to 10. I think we are going to stop by there and go out there. It's going to be a really fun time. Thursday, though, the game plan will be this. Ink and Ivy in Uptown will be opening up at 9 a.m. Probably going to slide by there. Also, the Charlotte Gamecock Club is throwing their own tailgate, and the location for that is at the corner of Moorhead and Mint Street, which is right next to the stadium. So, again, that's probably where I'll be hanging out. Like I said, man, am I a little disappointed we're not throwing a TSUS specific tailgate like we did during the regular season? A little bit, yes. But logistically, with the game being at 11:30 a.m., it was too difficult to. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of my buddies, a lot of people, they're not going to the game, so it would have just been yours truly, just trying to throw a tailgate, and Charlotte Gamecock Club's putting something on, Ink and Ivy's putting something on. I figured just why not just show up and go and partake in those things. So that's where we'll be. And I'll keep you guys updated and let you know on game day. But that's probably where I'll be. That's probably where I'll be, floating between Ink and Ivy and that actual Charlotte Gamecock Club tailgate, if you will. But again, guys, I mean, it's 11:30 a.m. kickoff. Yours truly, we're going to try to probably be out and about by about 8 a.m. But, it's an early one for sure. It's an early one for sure. So. But definitely hope to see you guys there. If you're going to be out and about, definitely hope to see you guys there. 843-790-3377. Guys, just 10 minutes to go here on a Tuesday, December the 28th, 2021. The final game of the season upcoming on Thursday. John Gibbs is kind of what I thought. It's way too early for all that extra stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. I mean, I just thought of it this way, John. Are people going to show up to the TSUS tailgate at like 7 a.m., 8 a.m.? You know what I mean? So personally, I'll tell you this, John, personally, I didn't want to have to go through the whole setup of setting up everything for a tailgate and then taking it all down. I mean, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. It worked out really, really well during the regular season because all that was kind of already done. And I just showed up and posted up with the flags, and that was it. So, yeah, Darrell Wall Jr., that was a fun game. That was a fun game for sure, man. That was a blast. Yep. I wasn't there, obviously, but that was a blast. Yep. That was a good Houston team. That was a good Houston team we played that year. All right, let's jump to the phone lines real quick.
Call from
Alan Davis.
Skyland, what's going on, my guy? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just counting down the minutes to kickoff.
I was calling to give you my prediction because it's about to be the only time I have to give you my prediction.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Fire away.
It's always great making the postseason,
especially
in recruiting, because you have something to build off of. But at the end of the day, North Carolina's got one of the elite offenses in the nation, and your defense has most definitely improved. But once again, your offense isn't there. But North Carolina does have one of the worst defenses in the nation. I think the Gamecocks score 35 points. Maximum 35. But I think North Carolina scores 50.
50?
So I have the Tar Heels rolling in South Carolina.
50 points. You think they're going to score 50 points?
I think they'll beat us, but I don't know 50. I'm over-exaggerating with 50, but their offense is going to go to work. And our offense will go to work too. I just don't think our offense will be able to put enough to outscore their offense.
I mean, I think that's very fair because, again, that's the number one question. If you don't get any big plays from your defense or special teams, I mean, I think if you're just purely talking South Carolina's offense against UNC's offense, I don't see the Gamecocks having the firepower to keep up if it's just that. Now, again, you have to factor in, can your secondary make some timely plays for you? Does Beamer ball show itself? And maybe you block a punt, maybe you block a kick, what have you. But, yeah, I don't think there's anybody out there that thinks just toe-to-toe this Carolina offense can go toe-to-toe with UNC and outscore them. I don't see that.
I don't. And I have your answer for you. You remember what we talked about off air the other day?
Yes.
It's Nike across the board.
Really?
Yes. But it has to be more profitable. You're gonna have more profit than what Under Armour gives.
Right.
So they're looking at all options Because they're looking at which ones will bring in more profit. But right now, their number one is going to be Nike across the board.
That would be something.
So,
That would be something, man. That would be something for sure. I think we'd all love to see it. So,
can you give me your prediction, or you want to hold off?
I'm gonna drop it tomorrow. I'll have my full prediction for you tomorrow. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I haven't locked in a score yet or anything. I mean, I'll be doing that a little bit later today. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, I think I've made it pretty clear. I don't love the matchup. I'll be honest. I just don't. I don't love the matchup. Again, the things that UNC does well are the things that you struggle to defend. You know, they run the football very well, and you have not been able to stop the run with any consistency. So that to me is the biggest question, the biggest key. Can you stop the run effectively enough to give yourself even a chance to keep up with them on the offensive side?
Yes. But I just don't see it happening. I would love to go 7-6 and Beamer's first year, which it can happen. That's why you play the game on the field.
Yeah.
You don't play the game on paper.
Right.
The game's played on the field. But if you look on paper, which we all do, North Carolina's just going to win this game on
right.
paper. But
well, there's a reason they're a 10-point favorite. I mean, there's a reason they're a 10-point favorite.
Yeah, but when it's game time, of course, I want to say Carolina wins the ball game. On game day, I want to say the Gamecocks win. Well, with kickoff, I will always say the Gamecocks are going to win. But right before the game, if I look on paper and I look at stats, North Carolina just beats the Gamecocks on paper. But I'm glad the game's not played on paper; it's played on the field. Who says we might have a hell of a game? And we come out and beat North Carolina.
Hey, you never know. I mean, again, that's like you said, man, it's not played on paper. And, you know, I think the things that'll have to happen, again, I think your defense is going to have a Herculean effort. You know, I think Sam Howell's got to throw a couple of picks. Maybe you get a pick six, you get a defensive touchdown. You know, I think those things will have to happen defensively. And then, of course, offensively, man, I mean, your offensive line is going to have to sort of play out of their ass like they did against Florida and Auburn. You know, the Gamecocks, a crazy stat for you, man. The Gamecocks haven't thrown for over 200 yards in their last 5 ball games. I don't know that I really see that changing in this game with Zeb Nolan under center. So, you know, I don't know. It's
on the upside, buddy. Ain't nothing but another week or two, and we're back on the diamond.
That's right, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, really, in about 2 weeks is when we'll really start talking baseball and breaking everything down, and we'll have our countdown to first pitch. And yeah, man. I mean, I know you're fired up. I'm obviously fired up as well. I got my season tickets locked in, so I'm very excited to get back out to Founders Park, man. It's going to be a hell of a year.
Same here, brother. Most definitely can't wait. I'm definitely along for the ride. Their journey, I'm along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Big things happening in Gamecock Athletics after baseball season. I can't wait to see what happens and what direction we go.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just hope for the best for Gamecock Athletics. This is like football, a little upscale. Basketball, you know, they're winning. You can't really say nothing about Frank Martin.
Yeah.
They're winning.
Yeah, it'll get real next week, man, with SEC play. It'll get real next week.
I know what I'm saying. They're winning, but they're really not beating nobody. But at least they're winning.
Yeah.
Still not a Frank Martin fan, but I just don't feel like when this in conference play we're going to be any good. But who knows?
Well, that'll define the season. You know what I mean? Going through non-conference is great, but
Does COVID, if Frank Martin struggles, and let's just say he struggles, that's my prediction, he's not going to do well in conference play. Does COVID give him another pass to keep him another year?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Because my thing is, he's been here 10 years. He took us to the tournament one time. If you hold Frank Martin to a lower standard than you ever held Will Muschamp, anybody, Chad Holbrook, anybody, it would be gone if it was any sport.
Yeah.
Any sport. But Frank Martin, I just don't like it. I just don't like him.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I get it, man. I definitely get that perspective for sure.
But I really do look forward to seeing the Gamecocks in the new apparel next year. That's probably been my number one look to after baseball. How do we look in Nike? How do we look in Jordan? How are we going to look in Adidas? Because it's going to be the first year in a long time we've been outside of Under Armour. Most definitely can't wait.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, enjoy your New Year's. I just took a new job. So
Congratulations, Skyler. Congratulations.
On the weekdays, you're going to have to be my go-to guy that drops the lineup. But on the weekends, I still got it. It's just going to hurt me on the weekdays because I'm going to be working 3 to 11.
Yeah.
But every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I got you, buddy.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right, be good.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon. Take care. Great stuff. And that takes us into the end of the show, folks. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Great stuff from Skyland as well. And again, if you're wondering what he was talking about, word on the street is South Carolina just might, the days of Under Armour might be limited in Columbia, South Carolina. Who knows? But again, folks, appreciate you all tuning in. Great stuff. Check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 564, chatting with Alex McGrath, if you have not done so. And, of course, podcast Daily Crow rolling all week long. Tomorrow's show, of course, I will drop my official prediction with the Gamecocks game against UNC in the Dukes Mayo Bowl. But until then, folks, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Do not forget, we're going live on ESPN Upstate at 4:20. And, of course, streaming the simulation of the Dukes Mayo Bowl tonight at 7 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Again, folks, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll